had no intention of digging a mine directly beneath his house. At least, not yet. The reason was simple. There were no torches. Digging down into the pitch-black darkness, unable to see a thing, was a recipe for disaster. What if he accidentally dug into a zombie nest? That would be a disaster. The top priority now was to find a natural cave, gather some coal, and make a few torches. Finding a cave wasn't difficult. The village was backed by a great mountain, and caves were abundant nearby. Even if there weren't any at the entrance, there were always some at the mountaintop. This time, Ryen had taken the opportunity to visit another good friend's house. He had brought back a bed. After all, mining could take who knew how long. Any seasoned miner knew to carry a bed with them at all times to set up camp in a cave. This village was poor beyond belief, and the villagers were all crafty merchants. The things they traded were few and useless, mostly some bland food. What did Ryen need this food for? He had a crafting table, a furnace, and if he got hungry, he could just sneak into the fields and steal some vegetables. If he wanted meat, he'd just head to the pigsty and slaughter some pigs. It was a pure self-service buffet. Ryen didn't plan to dig for diamonds or obsidian this time. Those were too far out of reach and way too dangerous. As the king of survival, Ryen couldn't be heading into the deep mines without full iron armor. His plan was simple, focus solely on mining iron. He needed enough iron to make 3 sets of armor and tools, then craft 7 or 8 iron buckets and scissors. After that, he'd gather materials to craft an iron door to prevent the villagers from freely walking into his house. And, of course, he'd need to gather some iron to make an iron golem. With an iron golem around, Ryen could roam the village safely at night. Although this village was small, it had great potential. Ryen planned to turn it into a forward base for his operations. He needed to optimize it well. After all, these materials were essential. He'd also hunt some monsters in the caves to complete the next stage of his achievement tasks. If he could find some lapis lazuli and redstone down there, that would be even better. In addition, Ryen planned to hunt a few more spiders to gather some string for bows and arrows. Although he preferred a crossbow, they were made from scrap metal and couldn't even be enchanted with infinity or fire arrows. What a waste. A complete waste. With an AK-47 available, he'd just wait for mods to unlock bullet crafting in the future. After carefully considering everything, Ryen roughly estimated he would need at least 6 sets of iron ingots. The project was massive. But, as history has shown, work is never tiring when it's done in pairs. What's more, Ryen was accompanied by 2 beautiful women. Forget mining, just playing house with them would be incredibly fun. Ryen, where are we going? Kaching, who had been chopping wood ahead, took a break and turned to ask. Chopping wood was something Ryen had taught her. At the early stages, the best thing to do was to chop down any tree you came across. It was like taking advantage of a passing opportunity. Chop down every tree you saw. Since Kaching and Ganyu now shared part of Ryen's unique traits, they could each carry 9 stacks of materials. While this was weaker compared to Ryen's ability to carry 9 stacks himself and a personal backpack with 27 stacks, it was still more than enough. Being able to carry 9 stacks of materials meant they had synchronized a portion of Ryen's strength. It was strong. It's not far now, just a few more minutes, and we'll be there. Ryen looked up at the direction, confirming it was right, and replied, Then I'll chop a few more trees. Kaching nodded eagerly, then continued her work with a determined focus. She was always mindful of one thing: if you want to get rich, start by chopping trees. And let's not forget, Ryen needed it, but Liyue Harbor needed these wood resources too. A single log block can be broken down into 4 wooden planks. One wooden plank, when processed by Liyue's craftsmen, could be turned into dozens of fine wooden materials. These were all valuable resources. Free. Moreover, even without processing, the value of these magical materials was enormous. It would be a breeze to build a small island in the air using them. Kaching could only lament that she didn't have enough space to carry them all. With 9 slots available, her plan was to use at most 2 of them for wood. The rest of the slots needed to be filled with other materials. If I get a chance, I need to ask the immortals for help in making a realm of my own. The limited space is wasting this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Kaching sighed softly, muttering to herself. When Ryen heard the mention of a realm, he also took notice. Earlier, he had asked Kaching and the others to try using the vision space to store materials. However, even after storing the materials, they still became too heavy. Once the slots were filled, the materials in the vision space would cause a weight overload. But a realm didn't have such problems. Hadn't Ning been carrying the dusty songpot around with her all this time? Naturally, Ryen was eager to carry more things as well. This was essentially a bag within a bag, an infinite nesting of items. Ganyu, could you help me get one of those portable realms? Ryen turned to her with a question. Ganyu, still on guard against any dangers around, replied distractedly. If you want one, I'll speak to Granny Ping for you. Kaching might not know Granny Ping's identity, but Ganyu certainly did. Granny Ping was the true expert in creating realms, also known as the Sage of the Song of Dust. Thanks to Ganyu's relationship with Granny Ping, it would be easy to get one of these realms. Although these things were difficult to make, who could resist when Ganyu was a favored younger member of the Immortals? That's great. Thank you, Ganyu. Ryen smiled and nodded. Ganyu's voice was gentle as she responded. It's no trouble at all. Ryen has helped us so much, and a realm is nothing. Granny Ping will gladly help if she knows. As Ryen looked at Ganyu's delicate face, he felt a wave of tenderness in his heart. He thought for a moment and then said softly, Ganyu, you don't need to worry about me. If you want to chop more trees, go ahead. Before we return to Liyue, you can gather more resources. No. Ganyu's face grew serious as she replied firmly. I must protect Ryen. Ryen is the most important. Resources? This time, it's just exploration. Kaching can take some, but Ryen needs them too for the development, right? We can mine more next time when we come back. Although Ganyu spoke without any ulterior motives, Ryen couldn't help but appreciate her words. He smiled and said softly, Then next time, I'll bring you, Ganyu, to mine gold, and we'll make some golden apples for you. Golden apples. Ganyu was taken aback. Is that even a thing? But are you sure it's safe to eat? Ryen shrugged. Of course. Not only are they edible, but they taste amazing. Plus, they have many magical effects. The best part is... Ryen lowered his voice and said mysteriously, No matter how many you eat, you won't gain weight. Won't gain weight. Ganyu's eyes lit up immediately. She instinctively pressed her lips together. Then Ganyu struggled to find the right words. Ryen smiled and waved his hand. It's fine. It's not hard to make. Consider it a gift for you, Ganyu. And if you really feel like you need to thank me, how about letting me touch your horns? Ganyu's face immediately turned a bright shade of red. She lowered her head shyly, mumbling, Touch my horns. Well, since Ryen is my friend, I guess I'll... Before Ganyu could awkwardly agree, Kaching suddenly turned around and shouted from ahead. Ryen, we've reached the end. There's a big mountain in front, and below it is a deep cave. Come take a look. This might be the mine you were talking about. Upon hearing this, Ryen immediately looked up and responded, Wait, I'm coming. Don't go inside. It's dangerous. With that, Ryen eagerly turned to Ganyu. Let's go, Ganyu. Time to get to work. Before Ganyu could respond, Ryen grabbed her hand and rushed toward Kaching. Ryen didn't have any other intentions. He was simply a miner excited about the cave. But for Ganyu, this was a bit embarrassing. She had never held a man's hand before in her life. And the fact that Ryen had been so eager to suggest touching her horns only added to her swirling thoughts. Her mind wandered. Does Ryen really like me? Although he's kind and gentle, always guiding me, he's been the best human friend I've had in all my thousands of years. But, isn't this a bit too soon? Ryen didn't notice Ganyu's anxious thoughts. He excitedly joined Kaching, took a quick look around, and confidently declared, That's it. This is the place. Get your pickaxe. Let's go mine. Ryen released Ganyu's hand and pulled out a wooden pickaxe. His gaze burned with excitement as he stared at the cave in front of him. Finally, after a year,